I'd like to share some ways you can reduce the pain that comes from the loss of love. Anyone who has sincerely loved another person, a pet, a place they love to live, and has lost that person or that place or that pet, knows and has experienced the pain that can come from the loss of love. And it is real. It can be very painful. The longer we are attached to the person or the place or the pet, the greater the pain can be. The loss of love can come in a few ways. It can come from separation, from being so far apart from the person or the place you love to live or the pet that you adore that you can't connect with them anymore. It can come from abandonment, from someone who just leaves someone you love, a parent that abandons their child, a friend or a lover or a spouse who abandons you. That can be very painful. The more you love that person, the greater the abandonment feels, and the more deeply it affects you, the more painful it can be. Pain from the loss of love can come from divorce. Two people come together, they fall in love, they feel like the love's going to last forever, but it doesn't. And at some point, one person in the party says, "I've had enough," and they're gone. And if the other person still loves the person who's leaving, the pain from the loss of that love through divorce can be severe. And of course, the pain from the loss of love can come from death. And if you love someone dearly and they die, or a pet you love that dies, you can experience a lot of pain from the loss of that pet or that person. Even a place you love to live, if it's destroyed by a hurricane, by a tornado, by a flood or fire, losing the place you love to live can be very painful. So these are all ways that we can experience the pain that comes from the loss of love. And now, let's get into ways you can reduce the pain that comes from the loss of love. One of the ways you can reduce the pain that comes from the loss of love is to prepare yourself in advance. When you fall in love with someone or a place you live or a pet you become attached to, know in advance that there may be a time when you're going to lose the person you love, the place you love to live, or that pet. If you prepare yourself and are aware that at some point this can end, and remind yourself once in a while, hey, at some point this could end, it can help alleviate and reduce the pain that comes from the loss of love, because then it doesn't come as such a shock to you. Another way you can reduce the pain that comes from the loss of love is through acceptance. Accept the fact that everything in this world is temporary. Even the mountains, at some point, will be worn down into rolling hills or plains. There are places on the planet that are land now that used to be ocean. There are places that are ocean that used to be land. Everything on this planet is temporary. And if you accept the fact that the love you have for a person or a place you love to live or a pet is temporary, even if it means that temporary nature comes from death itself, if you just accept that, it can help you reduce the pain that comes from the loss of love. And finally, here's a big one. Gratitude. Be grateful for every moment you have shared with the person you love, every moment you have lived in the place you love, every moment you have shared with the pet you love. Be grateful for that time together, the wonder of love you have shared, and focus on that when that relationship is ended and you face the pain of the loss of love. I have run into so many people who just hang on to the pain of the loss of love and never focus on the gratitude. Here's a case that I experienced. I had a woman in my life for a while who was a friend, who was an acquaintance, and frequently when we would get together and talk, she would talk about how painful it was for her that she lost her husband who had died. Over and over again when I got together with her, she would, when the subject came up, she would say it was so painful for her, and I could feel it was real. She was carrying that pain inside her. And one time I asked her, "How long ago did your husband die?" And she said, "Well, it was about 10 years ago." I didn't say anything, but I thought to myself, for 10 years, you've been carrying the pain from the loss of your husband and harboring it, carrying it with you everywhere you go. But I never once heard her express her gratitude for the times that she had shared with her husband, and it had been decades that they were married. All she focused on was the pain. My point is, when you experience the loss of love, yes, it's painful. Don't deny the pain. Accept it, process it, and let it go. And then focus on being grateful for every minute, every day, every wonderful experience you've had with the person you loved, or the place you love to live, or the pet you love. If you focus on gratitude for all the wonderful times you shared, instead of the pain, it can significantly help reduce the pain from the loss of love. Love is one of the most beautiful and the most powerful energies in the world. So I want to encourage you to love deeply, love completely, love from the very bottom of your heart. Why? Because the rewards you will get from loving deeply and loving completely far outweigh the pain that can come from the loss of love. And when that time comes, if you do lose someone you love, a place you love to live, or a pet, use the tools I've shared with you. Prepare yourself in advance. Accept the loss. And then be sincerely grateful for every moment, every day, every wonderful experience you've shared by loving a person or a place you love to live or a pet. If you remind yourself and be grateful for all the wonderful times you've shared together, it can seriously reduce the pain from the loss of love.
In a world based on change, where nothing stays the same, where the winners and the losers in a never-ending game, and all that remains, no matter how hard we've tried, is the love we have shared and the tears we have cried. So, from deep inside my heart, I'm asking as I pray, could I please have one more minute, one more hour, one more day, till the heaven in my hand